Good day, everyone. So today we are planning to go through the variables, the SQL variables. So first, but before doing that, first we need to know why those variables are important. So let me present some of the examples or some of the scenarios where these variables are useful. Actually, it is very tough to present those scenarios in real time because variables are one of the key members of SQL. But to create some scenario where variable is the mandatory is really tough. But still, I have tried to create some of the scenarios like that. So let me share my screen. And so suppose what I was thinking of, like I can present the situation with these two examples. So suppose the first example is anyone ask, suppose I don't know what is the average marks of the table students that we have created. So between that average marks, suppose the average marks is say average marks of this table is 60. So someone is interested to see all the people who got marks between 55 to 65, means average marks plus 5. Suppose this is a situation. I want to know who are the people behaving average. So I need to set a range. So that range will be derived from something like this: average plus 5 and average minus 5. I need to see people having marks in this range. So what would be your approach? So far we know, so far we have handled SQL. So we can follow something like this: select star from students. What is there? Let me check. Okay, so I can do something like where marks greater than equals to select average marks. Using subquery, we can achieve that. So select average marks from the student. And with this mark, I can write something minus 5. Another condition or criteria I can give like and marks less than equals to select average marks from student plus 5. So if I do that, let me check. So we have two students in that range. First, let me check what is the average marks, by the way, of this table. It is dynamic. More you have data, more it will change, obviously. So let me check what is the average marks of this table. Select average marks from this table. So what is the average marks exactly? Is this data giving me correct result or not? It is 66. So I need to see all the marks ranging between 61 to 71. So if I execute both of them now, so look, yeah, it is these marks of JD and Suraj is in the range 65.50 and 69. So our table's average marks is 66. So the range will be something between 61 to 71, something. It will come dynamically. So how to solve these kind of situations? Again, it is not mandatory that we have to use variable in this situation, but still you can see it is not a good practice to write the same query again and again. If somehow I can hold this value somewhere inside some variable or inside somewhere, so this is the situation where we can go for a variable. Variable means variable is an object that holds only one value. I have not gone through any theoretical parts because I consider them as a unusual or unnecessary things, but still I will be going through some of the theories later. But for the time being, it is the time to learn something in practical. So if there is something, object or something to hold this particular value, like the average marks of the table, then it will be helpful. So we have something like that in SQL that is called variable. So I can write declare a variable. Suppose variable name is A for average, say, and it might be numeric or integer, whatever you want. So 5, 2 or anything you can give. It is similar like a field thing, but it is only holding one value. It is not like it can hold multiple values. So declare a variable numeric kind of that. And whatever is your query, if your query is giving a single result, here average marks is giving me a single result. First test that, yeah, it is giving me the good result. So after selecting one particular column, you can simply use that variable @a equals to, that's all. And if you take a look now, select @a, so your variable is ready to use. So if I run these three statements, so it will give me the average marks. So what is happening again? So I am declaring one variable in this SQL query, like, okay, @a is my variable. Okay, and it will be numeric in time. It can hold one value. Now I can write select @a equals to average marks from student. That means @a will be holding the average marks of this from this table. @a is taking the real-time value, average marks from the table. You can also write max marks. So how did I write this sentence? First, run only this part. If this part is giving only one value, just put @ or put your variable at the front, and it will readily accept the value from the query, and the value will be stored into this variable. I will show you a couple of more examples like this, and after that I am just selecting @. It will be just printing the variable in the query output. Let me show you that. Okay, 66.09. So I can do the same for the max, for the mean, for everything. Suppose I want to select something called select maximum marks out of the female students from California. Say select max marks from student table where states equals to, it can be tough, it can be any query. Only one condition is you have to generate only one value. So, and gender equals to female. So whatever you can write, whatever you can use group by, you can use anything. So after that, it should give one only value. Look, it is only one value. It is giving 65.50 for California female people. If I write California male people, I need the average, suppose. So it is giving me 45. So in this case, what should I do? I just simply put @ in front of that and just write select @. The query can be a tough one, can be a simple one. You don't care. You just need to hold that particular value. So I can write declare a as @ suppose numeric 5, you can also hold some integer value as well. Let me show you that as well. So if I execute this, so it is holding the 45.0. So suppose if I take integer to hold the maximum age, so I can do the same as well. So now @a becomes integer and I can show the figure. It is 21. So the only condition is your query should return only one value. Okay, if I write something max age and suppose mean age, so it is not going to work. Okay, if I write @a now, it will be puzzled. So because there are multiple columns exist now. Okay, so it is giving an error. Even if because if I remove @a, just take a look. If I remove @a and if I run the query, it is giving me two values. So it will not work. Even it can give multiple columns as well. Suppose if I write single age, but with multiple data, select age from student where state is California and gender is him. If it is giving multiple data like 21 and 18, then also it will not going to work. Okay, then also it will create some problem. Let me test it. Okay, it is holding one value, but it is random. Take a look. So you cannot trust on the value. It is holding 18, but if I run the query, it is random. Look, it is taking the below one. It can be a good value if you write top one, I need 21, say. I do not need 18, I need the 21. So in this case, you can write top one, order by age descending. I need the 21 always if we have multiple values in the multiple columns. So I can simply write @a equals to this type of query I can use. Let me take a look. Look, it is now giving 21. So just simply put your variable equals to these two terms in front of your column name. That's all. Your query may be tough, your query may be simple, but it should return only one value. And if it returns multiple column values, we have checked multiple rows like 21, 18, it will be random. So better always go for a single value. As per row, as per column, it should be a single value. So here I have chosen top value from this table, ordered by age descending. Okay. And then I can simply put @a equals to in front of age, and I can get the desired data. Okay, let me delete that. Now I hope the idea is pretty much clear now, at least better than previous. But if I write select @a here, it is not going to work because this is not a permanent object in the SQL Server. It is saying declare the scalar object @a. So all the time you need to execute this query as a whole. You have to execute the full set of query. Then only it will exist. Okay, if you just run 2 lines, it will not be created in reality. Physically, it is not created anywhere in this database. It is created on the RAM, on your machine RAM. Okay, random access memory. So it is created on your memory, not in anywhere in database. That's why always you have to run these queries together. You have to declare that. After that, you have to put some value, and after that, you can see the value. You can select the value inside. So that is the thing you need to do together. Otherwise, it will not exist. So now this time, okay, let me go through the query again. Yeah. So I have stored average marks here. Let me delete the last line. I do not need it anymore. And I do not need the first line as well. So I need to execute these two queries together. So what I will do, instead of writing this thing again and again, average marks from the student, now I have stored the value somewhere. So I can write @a -5 and @a +5. That's all I can do. The same thing, a smaller version of code. And if I run that, it will give me that to record once again JD and Suraj. But if I run this part only, it is never going to be run because @a doesn't exist. It is saying must declare the scalar variable @a because @a is created in the memory itself. On the go, it is on the fly, it is being created. It is not having any permanent position in the database. That's why I can also play with this like marks between. We have learned the between thing, @a -5 and @a +5. We have learned in the first day the use of between. We can use the query in this sense as well. So it will be also meaningful. If I run this query, it is giving me the same thing. I can do something like -10. It will be easier now for me to handle without running the same average query multiple times. Take a look, the average marks -10 and +10, we have this couple of records. These 5 records are in that range. Okay, I hope it is becoming clear now. So now we might have some confusion over the data of multiple rows. I mean to say, if your data, let me delete this one and practice all those things in your SQL Server, then it will be more clear. Suppose I have some data like select star from students of where roll greater than 5, say. I have a couple of records, not students, it is student, I guess. Yeah. And suppose I want to select all the roll and all the SNAME somewhere in the table. Suppose it is the requirement. I need to hold all of these, not only one value. Then also I can create a temporary table. So what is a temporary table? I can create something like declare @a, @ or anything you can give. Here, just I need to mention it is a table. It is not a numeric, it is a table. And this table will be having two columns. Say ID as integer, and next one is student ST name, student name as varchar. Varchar, anything 50 or 100, 200, anything. So I will declare a variable with this name. Okay, it is a table. It will not going to hold one particular value. Instead of that, it is going to hold the full table. Okay, but it will be temporary. The nature will be same like previous. Okay, so what I'll do now, I have declared one table and I just need to insert. It is kind of a normal table. I just can insert into @ like a normal table, but this table will be created in the memory. Okay, so if I write that, and after that I need to print select star from @. It will behave same. If I run this query, execute, it will behave same. So here we have three parts again. First you need to declare, okay, then you need to insert the value into the table, and after that select it, just treat it as a normal table. You can put all the things together. You can put like where ST name, like a percentage, something like that. You can do in this way. You can, after that you can also write order by ID descending or something, anything you can do like a normal table. But remember, you cannot execute this table alone, because this table will not be created anywhere in the database. It will be on the fly. It will be created on the memory for some temporary use. That's why it is being called as a temporary table. These tables are being created on the memory actually. So if I run this, it will behave like this. Okay, Anshul and Anju both start from A and order by ID descending. So Anshul's name came first, then Anju's name. So something like this. Okay, so this is called table variable. So first one is called temporary variable, and it is called temporary table variable. Okay, or not temporary, you can say only variable, and it is table variable. So now if we learned something, let me go to the second part. Suppose we need one extra column in the table with maximum age, with a calculation like this. Suppose minimum age of this table is 15 and maximum age is, suppose in this table is 30. And suppose my age is somewhere, some people age is somewhere in 22. So I need to extract 22 minus 15. Suppose something, it is a stupid calculation, but still, suppose I need to make that something like this, or let me change that. Minimum age minus minimum age by max age, something like that I need to do. So it will be something 22 minus 15 by 30. Suppose the second person's age is 26, then I need to do 26 minus 15 and by 30. So I need to find how old are this person is, means how old this person is. Okay, so some calculation, some stupid calculation like this, age minus minimum age by maximum age. So what should you do in this case? So it will be suggested, let me do that first. Okay, declare @ suppose max mx integer. I will declare another variable, declare @mn integer, and after that I will just simply write a query, select max age from student and select mean age from the student as well. So if I write @mx equals to this, so mx will be holding the value of the maximum value of this table, and @mn equals to mean age from student, so it will be holding the minimum age from this table. Now what should we do? We just need to do that calculation, like select star from student will give me everything, but I can use star comma, what was the calculation? Let me take a look. Age minus minimum age. That means I can do something age minus @mn by @mx, something like that, and it will be enough for us. If I run this query, okay, it is 0 because all the data is in integer. That's why it is becoming 0. So what I can do, I can simply write cast. I can convert. Okay, first tell me if this calculation is okay or not. It is simply age, minimum, and maximum. I can simply do one thing as well here as well, rather than converting all of them in the calculation. I can do something like 5,2. Suppose here as well, numeric 5,2. In the last class, we have learned how to convert a data. So max age, I can simply convert it into cast max age as numeric. From integer, I'm trying to convert that into numeric. And after that, it will be stored into the mx variable. So if I remove mx for the time being, suppose, and if I run this query only, it will be turned into the look, age is turned into numeric. So after getting this good data, I can simply put @mx in front of the value. Same I can do here as well. Let me copy and paste. So I can simply write mean age as numeric 5,2, and I will simply use both of them here. But age is still in integer. So what I can do, I can simply convert age into numeric as well. So now everything becomes numeric, and it should give me a correct set of data. Okay, I'm just converting age into, and it is a simple condition that was mentioned in the requirement in the question. So I am doing the same thing. I'm just converting age into numeric, then minus minimum and @max. So there can be a complex situations like this, but you have to solve it in this way by holding the value simply into a variable. That's all you need to do. So we can do the same for any type of data. It might be for varchar, it might be for any value. So just one thing I want to show now. Suppose I have all the data in my table. So let's start from student. I have all the data in my table. I want all the name of the people with a comma separated thing. Means I need George, comma Krish, comma Michael, comma Jerry, comma Jacob, kind of that. How should I achieve those things? So I can use something like declare first one variable. It will be something new. It will be something interesting. Suppose @n, and I can write varchar, suppose 500, a big value, because I will be holding all of them. Though 500 is not required, 200 or 100 will be enough, but still, let me take that. First, I will give some value. Either you can set or you can select as well. Let me use something new, set. It was being used in the DML statement chapter, on the chapter 3, but I can remember. I can simply write set @n equals to a blank. That's all. Otherwise, it will hold a null, and null plus something becomes null. Okay, let me delete this line for the time being. Let me show you what happens if it is null. So what I do, I will just first select all the S name from the table. Let me run this query. If I do that, I can see all the S name. So what is my purpose? My purpose is @n equals to @n plus S name plus comma. So it will be something in a recursive way. Recursive way means all the names will come. First name will goes into @n. I mean, first @n is null. So null plus S name, and after that comma. So it should be George, comma. After that, at the inside @n, it is George already there. So then George plus, okay, let me write it down. @n, first it holds nothing. Say. After that, if I add @n equals to @n plus S name plus comma, means @n will become plus George plus comma. So @n will become George plus comma. Okay, inside @ you will be having George plus comma currently. George and comma. So again, in the next term, it will be @ n, s name plus comma, means @ n is George comma now. After that, the next name, that is Krish, and plus a comma. So the new value inside @n will become George comma Krish comma. And in the next turn, what will happen? @n equals to @n plus s name plus comma. So the next name again, currently @n is having this value. With that, plus Michael, say, plus. So the value will keep increasing. So now at the end, if I just simply write select @n, it should give me the full set of data separated by comma. But here, first value of the @n was null. So null plus anything becomes null. So at the end, I can see the variable consists null. So I have to make one simple correction. I can simply write set @n equals to blank. Instead of null, I can give blank. Blank means nothing, not even a space. It is nothing. Okay. So if I do that, then only I'll be getting all the details, comma separated wise. Take a look. But the bad part is one small improvement is needed. That is, after Pranav, we are having one comma. Let me copy this value here. After Pranav, we have having one comma. So that we need to remove. So that is a very simple thing that we will learn later as well. So I will just simply choose length of @n -1. I will choose all the characters except last one. So we will learn this later. Do not focus on this left part, but focus on the variable part, how we are handling. If I show you the data now, so it is now holding a good part of data. All the names, comma separated wise. Okay, I think you got the idea, but still it is a bit tricky for you for the time being, but we can modify our data in this way. Suppose the last part, the last question that I want to show you today, the last usefulness or the utility of this variable that I can show you. You can use this variable in a format of front-end languages. Front-end languages means you can use this variable in a if statement, in a while statement. Suppose I want to create a table. Suppose I want to create a table called logs or something like that. Not a real table. I want to create logs, something like that. In there, I want to have something like log ID, int, and something is like log statement that will be having varchar 100 or something like that, say. And I want to insert 1,000 records inside it or 5,000 records inside it. Suppose, what should be the solution? Will you be inserting the data one by one, like insert into table and something like that? Suppose I want to insert some of the test data, means 1 and log 1 or test 1. After that 2, log 2. And in this way, I want to insert 5,000 data or 1,000 data, like 1,000 log 1,000. So it will take a hell lot of time to write one by one. So in these cases, we can use this while loop. So let me first write the query, insert into logs values. What I can do, I can simply write @i, suppose one variable, and log plus @i. Okay, I want to insert these two details, 1 and log 1, suppose kind of that. And what is our, okay, let me create this table first. Yeah, table is created. Let me delete that. So declare @i integer, set @i equals to 1, and I want to insert this value. So it will give me an error because @i is integer and log is varchar. So we know how to handle these situations now. So I will simply cast @I into varchar, because a varchar cannot be converted into integer, but an integer can be converted into varchar. So I can simply write a varchar, suppose 10, say, or anything like that. So if I run this query, it will be a successful insertion, what I can guess. Okay, sorry, I have not mentioned declare. So yeah, if I mention both of them, it is giving some error. Okay, I forget to give one extra bracket. So it will insert the data inside logs loop. So now I got an idea. So what I can do now, I can simply use a while loop, while @I less than equals to 10. So it is a simple while loop. First, let me show you what a while loop does. I can simply write @I less than equals to 10, select @I, it will iterate until @I is less than equals to 10, until it is satisfying this criteria. @I is less than equals to 10. Until then, it will just iterating, keep iterating. So I can define the body like begin and end. If you have a simple idea of front-end languages, how to handle while loop or for loop in the front-end languages, then probably it will become easier for you. But for a database person, if you do not know how to handle while or for loop using Java and using Python, it will be something new for you. So what I am doing, I am setting the value of I as 1, and it will iterate until the value of I is less than 10. And if I run this query, it will run for infinite time, because it is always less than 1. The value of I is always less than 1, and it will keep iterating. Let me show you. If I run this query, it will keep iterating. Take a look. It is iterating. It is still executing. It is still executing for last 4 seconds, for last 5 seconds. I do not want to continue. Just let me stop that. So take a look. It started printing infinite wise. Infinite times it has printed 1. So I do not want that to print it for the infinite time. What I will do, I will just write set @I equals to @I plus 1. I just want to increase the value of I so that it should run for the 10 times only. If I run this now, it will show me the data from 1 to 10. Take a look. From 1 to 10. So this is how we can do something in iterative way. Suppose you need to print 1 to 100. There is no need to write select 1, select 2, select 3. Just do it using while loop. We do the same thing in the front-end languages as well. So it is something new for you. But yeah, now I think you are able to understand what is the working principle of the while. So on the body between begin and end, whatever you will write in between, this part will be executing multiple times until it is satisfying this condition. So here, at last, I became 11, and it comes to this criteria, 11 less than equals to 10. It will be saying no. So the while loop will be stopped. So that is the idea. It is something, it is being called as a loop. So I will use this idea of the loop now. So what I will do, I will just put this query. It was a successful in a previous run. Instead of select, I will just paste this query here inside the body. So what it will do, it will keep generating the number 1 to say 1000. Let me do it for 1000. And it will keep inserting the data into this logs table. And every time after inserting the data, it will become set @I equals to @I plus 1. If I execute, it will insert 1000 data. Okay. It has been done in few minutes, a few seconds, I will say, few milliseconds rather. So if I now check into the table, if we have 1000 data or not, what was the name? Select start from logs. Take a look. It is there. 1, 2, look, 4, log 5, 5, log 5, and we have 1000 data in this table. Where is that? Where is that? Where is the end? Take a look. 1000 and log 1000. So this is a example of while loop as well. We need to know those things, because in future as well, I will be giving some of the examples. I always take care of this fact. I never discuss something new at the time of giving some solution of some requirements. I always try to go in a in a manner like whatever we have learned earlier, like group by, like subquery. I always prefer to use those and keep learning step by step. In my exercises as well, you can see I have tried to maintain that pattern. Whatever you have learned previously, you can use those, and whatever is the new, you can only apply this kind of this knowledge onto the exercise, then it will be enough. You need to know the earlier steps and this chapter knowledge, it will be enough. So I have not used anywhere join, I have not used date time anywhere, so I have tried to maintain that. But yeah, in this chapter probably it is tough to create exercise for this chapter, but I have tried the same, so you can take a look into the exercise. You will be getting that link of the exercise um, in the description of this class or this video. So you can, if you have any doubt, you can ask me in the comment section as well. I can ping you or I can direct you how to get the exercise from the Facebook group, or I can even send that over the mail. So you can reach out to me on the comment section if in case of any doubt. So I hope it is now clear to you. I can also use this variable. I'm not going to show you anymore because the class is becoming tough for you, I know. I can also do something like if @I less than, in situations I will be using those later. Suppose it is greater than 18, less than 18, then I can write begin print child or select child. You can also use print as well. I will show how. Begin end, and you can write else select adult, something like that. It is also a if statements. If you have any idea of Java and Python, it will be familiar to you. Or if you do not have any idea of Java and Python, you can use that as well. So @I, if it is less than 18, it will be child. Else it is greater than 18, it will print adult. So let me print this now. It should print. Okay. Some problem happened. Okay. I missed to give begin here. Else begin and end. Okay. So let me run this query once again. It will give child. So instead of select, if I write print, what will happen? Always in one query, we have two output windows. One is result, another one is message. So print will print the data in the message pane. Okay. And select prints the data in this result pane. Okay, let me show you. Now instead of select, I have written print. Now data will be printed in the message section. It is child. Okay, so we can use these variables alternatively in if, in while, and we will be using this if and while in future multiple times. So don't worry, you will get a chance to look into this. But the most powerful idea that we need to take from this lesson or from this chapter is a variable, a single variable can hold a value, one value. If you want to hold multiple values, you can go for table variable. But here, a simple variable can hold only one value. One variable can hold one value. That's all for the day. On the next day, I will be coming up with some new chapters. Okay, but practice or try to solve all the queries listed on that exercise. Then it will be more clear to you. Okay, so bye for the day. Take care, everyone. Bye.